All right, reason number one is kind of an obvious one. Less mouse clicks, less use of your computer keyboard while mixing and recording gives you a more musical approach. And I find this especially true when trying to record guitar, because I'm holding my guitar, I'm trying to press the mouse and hit record. I'm also hitting Control-Alt-Z a lot because I mess up and I need to undo whatever I've recorded and then hit the spacebar to stop playing, all of that. With the Fadeport 8, I can easily arm a track for recording. All right, we're recording on that track and I can hit record. Here I am recording. You can see me recording. All right, I want to stop that. Hit stop, that easy. Now I want to undo it. I just hit undo and no more recording. So yeah, that's a big one for me, and that's where the Presonus Faderport 8 can make things easier and more musical. And if you want to get the latest pricing and more info on the Presonus Faderport 8, be sure to visit Sweetwater. They actually have the entire line of Presonus Faderports over there that you can check out, plus all of the gear and software that you need for your home recording studio as well. They even offer flexible payment plans if you should need that, so be sure to visit Sweetwater. Now, reason number two is that you can control multiple tracks at the same time. Sometimes when you're mixing or even doing automation, you might want to turn a channel up or down, and maybe you want to do that with two channels at the same time. Maybe you want one to go up and the other one to go down, something like that. You could do 3, 4, up to 8 channels at the same time. So again, less mouse clicks and doing multiple things at the same time makes your workflow a lot quicker. So now, reason number 3 for getting a Presonus Faderport 8 is the transport controls. This makes it easy to start playback, stop playback, go back, go ahead. You can start recording like I showed earlier and undo things that you've recorded. So these transport controls make your life a lot easier. It is all a matter of taste, but I really like using the transport controls on the Fadeport 8. Now, reason 4 for getting a Fadeport 8, or any of the Faderports for that matter, is it makes automation so much easier. You can start recording your automation, move around the faders as needed, move around multiple faders as needed if you get the Fadeport 8 or the 16. And yeah, it just gives you that musical approach again, that hands-on approach, and less mouse clicks, faster workflow, and a more musical workflow. So make your automation life way easier. And a really cool thing is that these faders are motorized. So when you're playing back your automations, they're going to move. Or if we switch to control other channels, they're going to move to those positions. So if you were mixing one track and then you had to move ahead in the track count to mix something else, then you go back, the fader's going to return to that position that you were in before. Now, reason 5 is a very cool one, but before we get into that, I mentioned earlier that there's an entire line of the Presonus Faderports. So you can get those over at Sweetwater. You can check out the prices there. Maybe the Fadeport 8 is a little too big for your workspace. Maybe you need something smaller. You can go with the single track Presonus Faderport, or maybe you need more track controls. You can go with the Fadeport 16. They have you covered for whatever size studio you have and whatever size desktop you have. And of course, if you need any other hardware or gear for your studio, Sweetwater has that at competitive prices. They have a lot in stock all the time, and they even offer one-on-one support before you purchase and even after you purchase. So you can make sure that you get whatever it is that you actually need and want. So when you're looking for the next item for your home studio, be sure to visit Sweetwater. Now, reason number 5 for getting a Presonus Faderport 8 is that you can control plugins with it as well. And I tested this out on multiple DAWs and it worked with pretty much all of the big name ones. It didn't work so great with Cakewalk or Tracktion Waveform, but let's have a look at how it works right now. So I'm going to move this over to acoustic guitar. We'll control that. Then I'm just going to press edit plugins, and you'll notice that it shows all of our plugins. If we had more, they would be listed there. So I want to control the CLA 76, which is a Waves plugin. So I'll select that one, and you can see the faders moved automatically on their own. And you can see on these screens here what each channel is going to be recording. So if I wanted to control the ratio, I can go here, see the ratio. And if you look on the screen, you can see it's moving as I change it. So I'll put it back down to 4. If we wanted to change the input or output, I could do that with these here. This was extremely easy to set up, and you only have to do it once, and it's going to remember it for that specific plugin. So what we'll do is click on this gear icon here. It's going to bring this up. Then we want to click on this little down arrow right there. Click on Fadeport. And when it goes here, we just click on autofill, and it's going to set everything up for us. It's that easy. Now, reason number 6 for using a Presonus Faderport 8 is it's extremely easy to set up with most of the major DAWs. I tried it out with Pro Tools, Ableton Live, Studio One, which is the easiest because it's set up right out of the box for Studio One. But if I wanted to use it with Pro Tools, it's actually just a couple of button clicks, and there's a setting in there that I would just push the button. Same thing with Ableton. If I wanted to use it with that, couple of button clicks, and there's a setting for it. It's extremely easy to use. Now, if you use Tracktion Waveform, I do not recommend getting it because the integration isn't the greatest. You can use the transport controls, but this is a little excessive if you're just wanting to use the transport controls. Reason 7 for getting a Presonus Faderport 8 is the bundled software that you get with it. So maybe you're like, yeah, I like the idea of that, but I don't have Presonus Studio One. Buy one of these and you get Presonus Studio One Artist with it, which is an excellent DAW that can handle pretty much anything you want to throw at it. But they take that even a step further by giving you the Studio Magic Bundle, which has effects and instruments from Arturia, Isotope, Native Instruments. You even get MIDI and samples with it. So you're getting a $99 DAW with it, plus over $1,000 worth of plugins in that Studio Magic Bundle. And you're going to have an excellent controller to control all of that stuff with. Now, check out more information on Presonus Studio One by clicking the video on the screen. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.